Hey guys, Jacqui Grant here. So, your business success and sustainability, let's touch on that. So, one of the biggest things is that when you're setting up your business, it's really important to set up the foundation properly. And the foundation of any business is a business plan, a marketing plan, a financial plan, a contingency plan, a duty of care, and your risk analysis as well. So what are the risks to my business? What are the risks to my staff and the people I provide services to? My duty of care to my business and things like that. It does not matter what your business is. So if you're in the disability sector and you're a sole trader and you're watching this, please know that this is for any business. You also got to follow work health and safety legislation, also Australian consumer law. So making sure that you're understanding those, and then legislations for the businesses that you work in. Now, as a business coach, I work with a variety of businesses, not just the businesses in the disability sector, and I also do personal empowerment work as well. So I work with individuals on building their confidence to achieve their goals and things like that. So personal empowerment, as well as business coaching and helping businesses to be the best they can. So when it comes to that business sustainability, one of the biggest things is brand awareness and organic growth. Now, a lot of people will say, how can I secure my business, especially in the disability sector? It's an oversaturated market. And that's the other thing I want you to think about when you're setting up your business is, what is the level of demand for my business? If you've watched one of my other videos on, we talked about the NDIS numbers and the number of participants, and we also talked about the number of current providers, right? We also talked about the amount of money that the government currently has invested or spent, and how they are talking about cutting back the amount of money that is given to the NDIS. So that can mean that your business is at risk. Now, one of the biggest things is that with business is, how many people do I require to have a successful business? So how much can I charge for my services? And where are people going to find me, and how are people going to know about me? Now, often people enter the NDIS thinking it's easy money, it's secure money, and you can get rich, because people have done the wrong thing and actually, got a lot of money from it. But a lot of other people have found that they actually don't make a lot of money. They don't get the work that they want. They get a job, they are casual, they hardly get called for shifts, things like that. And one of those things is that they really struggle to get the work and keep the roof over their head, because there's so many people competing to the same pool of people for work. Now, at times you might dispute that there's, like when I say that it's an oversaturated market in the NDIS, is because, there's always people getting a plan. Well, a lot of plan funding's been cut. And I encourage you to go and watch my other video, which is all about breaking down the NDIS and how many participants and funding and all of that. I broke it all down. But if you're a business owner in general, one of the things that we want to talk about is looking at setting your foundations up, as I've said, and then looking at who's my client and how many people are going to want my service. Because when you set your business up, you want to set it up for the long term. Now, you can focus on growth, but the growth that happens organically is likely to stay with you versus spending a lot of money on advertising in places that is really not going to help you. So things like Google Leads and those businesses that do that lead generation and set up all those cold calls. Here, I can fill your appointment book with, all these calls. They don't kind of help a lot. So one of the biggest things that you can do for your business sustainability is to look at where you're investing your money, but also look at how big a pool of people is there out there that really want my services, and how easy are they to access, and what is the stability of me being paid. Okay, I'm not a marketing person, but what I do look at is that if we look at personal training, right? How many people are in Australia and how many people might want to get fit, and then how many people are in my area that might want to get fit, so might want a personal trainer. When we look at selling t-shirts, for example, people want clothes. So we go, oh, it's natural. People will want to buy a t-shirt. Well, they'll only want to buy a t-shirt if the price is right and the colour's right and the look's right. So if you get those three things right, that's actually a little bit easier, and you can go to the rest of the world where there's billions of people versus millions of people. But remember, we're not all for everybody, and our personality is different. And that's why when I see coaches and consultants taking other people's stuff and jumping in and trying to be better than them, really there is enough for everybody, and I am for some people and not for others, and other coaches are for the people that are not right for me. So it's about that attraction to your right client, which means knowing your business personality and how you represent your business, and also your own personal personality, which, yeah, we have some tools around that as well. But getting back on track of when the market is saturated with all of these, how do you stand out? What is unique about you that makes you amazing? Are you pushing and paying a lot of money for lead generation when really that money would be better invested where you can actually get organic growth? Organic growth is where your messages are right. So for example, in Connect and Grow magazine, we're about organic growth in the magazine. So you pay for the advertising, but we put your video out onto YouTube. We then check the tags, the hashtags. We then will put it on social media in different areas. We will refer to the magazine when somebody rings me up looking for a service provider. The first place I look is the magazine. I mean, I don't need to look hard because we've only got a few businesses advertising in there, so I know who they are. We're select. We won't go past 50 businesses advertising in the magazine at any one time. We have not reached that number, but we want the magazine to be about quality, and it's all about well-being. So the audience that's reading it's about fitness, health, well-being, self-empowerment, things like that. So people are reading it, then they know somebody and they talk to somebody. So you see there's a bit of an organic growth, and it takes a little bit longer, but it's actually worth it. So when it comes to your business and setting up that sustainability, and as I say, future-proofing my business, which is the other video that I did, future-proofing my NDIS business, is that when it comes to future-proofing your business, there's only so much you can do if the audience that may require your services is limited, right? There's only so many people that require your services. There's a cap on it. So therefore, your business to grow and to stay needs to be very clear in its messaging, needs to show its business personality really clear, the purpose of your business, and this needs to be crystal clear. And then that uniqueness. Why would I choose you over someone else? And as a business owner, when you're doing all this, you really also ideally, I was going to say should, but I changed that to ideally work on your time management, have a great support work team that, when I say support work, support yourself in work, that your team support you, that everyone else supports you in your personal life as well to help you be the best that you can be. So standing up and being the best that you can, taking care of yourself, you're doing your time management stuff both personally and professionally, having that support at work as well as at home, so important. And also knowing who you can debrief with. Now, as a business coach, I know that there is a lot of coaches out there, and a lot of coaches have jumped up in the disability sector. A lot of consultants are jumping into the disability sector thinking that they can help businesses make a profit. But I'll tell you right now, the ones that have reached out to me and spoken to me and said, yeah, I hear that you know a lot about the NDIS. I'm just trying to work out why more businesses aren't making a profit. And when I broke down the figures that there is only 600 odd thousand participants, and their services that they require are multi-leveled. So there's capacity building, there's core. So in one person wants a few different services, but their plan is capped at a certain amount of money. And they, at the NDIS, will only pay a certain amount of money. So as a business coach, I know to tell somebody, set their price at 3 times the amount, so it covers the business costs, but in 3 times what they're more than what they're paying themselves. But in NDIS, they can't do that because they're not going to get the pay. They're simply not. The allied health may, but generally speaking, if you're paying your staff $50 an hour, you really need that extra $100 buffer for your tax, for your super, for all of your running of your business. And maybe then the business owner gets paid as well, your admin team, all of that. But in NDIS, the profit margin, well, clear after you've paid your staff might be $17 an hour. Then you have your admin team, you might have your CRMs, you might have your business coach, you might have your app, your work cover, your business insurance, your tax. So $17 an hour has to cover a lot more, and you, the business owner, haven't been paid yet. So when we talk about business profit in NDIS particularly, it's a lot harder to hit that number as a small provider. When you are a sole trader, you're paying yourself, but are you paying your super? Have you got your business expenses nailed down? Have you done your spreadsheet? Have you got your documents, your policies in place to protect your business, setting yourself up for the long term? Are you understanding and following Australian consumer law? Like, are you following the guidelines that you need to around your tax and GST? Are you protecting yourself with maybe income protection? Are you protecting yourself from other things? Are you protecting yourself from the day that you get sick and you can't go and work? If you don't go and work, you don't get paid. So how are you protecting yourself from $67 an hour? Plus, your fuel and everything else that's going on. How are you setting yourself up to be protected if they bring in mandatory registration? But if we take it a step back and out of NDIS and take it for overall, a lot of that is very true for businesses, except when you own your own business that doesn't have a ceiling on it of what you can charge, then it's more around attracting the right clients that are willing to pay you what you set your charges at. So most coaches pay themselves around $100 to $200 an hour, but often they would charge around $400 to $600. I know coaches that charge $1,000 an hour. So it's really coming back to, who is my target audience, what can they afford, and what are they willing to pay, and what am I worth? What am I bringing to the table? This is where we do all cost analysis as part of business. So business sustainability is really about setting the foundations up right, having those documents, policies and procedures in place to protect your business, having the right insurance, having the right crystal clear message, knowing your business's identity, which you can do the assessment tool. It's really straightforward, really affordable, and a lot of fun. And knowing this and then growing from there as well, because this is all about that sustainability and long-term business success. And it is not easy. You're going to be working on your business just as much as you're working in your business. Work-life balance, hence the support at work for yourself, and then supporting yourself in your family life as well. And remembering to have time off, because you can't give from an empty cup. You really can't. So take care of you, love who you are in the sense of respect you, healthy boundaries, and remember that you are worthy of having success in your life, in your business, and in your personal life. If you'd like some help, reach out. We do business coaching and we do personal coaching as well. And we've got so many new resources that are available, and they're different and unique. They're focusing on your purpose, they're focusing on empowerment, and they're focusing on you being the best you can be, doing more of what you love. So keep watching for more videos. Check out our resources. We'll have links in the comments as well as in the descriptions for you to check out where you might want to grab some books, Break Free Success Pathway book is an amazing book for personal and business growth and empowerment. You know, achieving your goals and being on purpose gives you a quality of life. So it doesn't matter what they are. There's strategies in there for everybody. Thanks for watching.